The group text came on a Tuesday afternoon. Mandatory family meeting Sunday 2 p.m. Everyone must attend. No excuses. I was in my office at Stratton Financial, reviewing loan portfolios for our commercial banking division. As vice president of lending, I spent my days analyzing creditworthiness and risk. Family drama wasn't usually part of my Tuesday. My phone buzzed again. My younger brother Derek. Big announcement Sunday. Finally getting the wedding Jen deserves. Then Mom, please be supportive, Emily. This is important to your brother. 3 messages in 5 minutes about Derek's wedding. I had a sinking feeling I knew where this was going. Sunday arrived. I pulled into my parents' driveway in their upscale suburban neighborhood, the house they'd lived in for 20 years. Inside, the living room was arranged like a presentation. Derek sat with his fiancée Jennifer, both looking excited. Mom hovered with coffee and cookies. Dad stood by the fireplace in his serious discussion position. Emily. Finally. Mom hugged me. Derek has wonderful news. I sat in the chair clearly designated for me, directly facing Derek and Jennifer. So, Derek began, smiling wide, Jen and I found the perfect venue. The Grandview Estate, you know, that mansion overlooking the lake. I knew it. Premium venue, premium prices. It's beautiful, Jennifer gushed. Garden ceremony, ballroom reception, everything we've dreamed of. That's wonderful, I said carefully. The thing is, Derek continued, the total package comes to $85,000. And the venue requires a 50% deposit to hold the date. $42,500 by Friday. There was. That's quite an investment, I said. It's not just a wedding, Jennifer said. It's the start of our life together. It needs to be perfect. And that's why we're here, Dad interjected. Derek needs help with the deposit. Family supports family. We've talked it over, Mom said quickly, and we think everyone should contribute. Your father and I are contributing $15,000. We think you should contribute $27,500. The number was so specific it made my skin crawl. You want me to give Derek $27,500? Not give, contribute, Dad corrected. You're his sister. Why is my contribution nearly double yours? Because you can afford it, Derek said simply. You make bank VP money. You've been saving forever. No kids, no husband, no real expenses. What else are you going to do with the money? Save it. It's my emergency fund. This is an emergency, Jennifer said. We'll lose our venue. That's not an emergency. That's poor planning. Emily. Mom's voice held a warning. Don't be difficult. You've had 8 months to save. Why do you need my money now? Derek and Jennifer exchanged glances. They had unexpected expenses, Mom said. The engagement ring, the honeymoon deposit. The engagement ring was $12,000, Derek interrupted proudly. 2-carat diamond. Jen deserved the best. And we put down $8,000 for the Maldives honeymoon, Jennifer added. I did the math quickly. $20,000 on ring and honeymoon before securing the venue. Classic Derek. All flash, no planning. So you spent $20,000 on other things and now need me to cover the venue. You need to contribute to your brother's wedding, Dad said, his voice hardening. Everyone contributes. I already bought a bridesmaid dress. That's my contribution. That's not enough, Derek said flatly. This is my wedding. My one chance to give Jen the day she deserves. And you're going to nickel and dime us. I'm not giving you $27,500. Silence. Dad's face reddened. Emily, let me be very clear. You owe this family. We raised you, fed you, clothed you, put a roof over your head for 18 years. You didn't pay for my college. I had scholarships and loans I paid off myself. We gave you a home. Dad's voice rose. We gave you opportunities. And now when your brother needs help, you're turning your back. I'm declining to fund a wedding I can't afford. Can't afford. Derek laughed bitterly. You're a VP at a bank. You make 6 figures. My salary is my business. Your business. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Emily, Derek is your only brother. He's only getting married once. Can't you make this sacrifice? A $27,500 sacrifice for a one-day event? It's not just an event. Jennifer's voice pitched higher. It's our wedding. And you're being selfish. I'm being financially responsible. You're being a bitch, Derek spat. Derek. Mom gasped. What? His. She has the money, she's just too greedy to help family. I stood up. I'm leaving. Sit down, Dad commanded. We're not done. Yes, we are. If you walk out that door, Dad said coldly, you're choosing money over family. I'm choosing not to be financially exploited, I corrected. I walked to the door. Fine, Dad called out. We'll get the money another way. But don't expect to be welcome at family events anymore. I left without responding. Monday morning my assistant buzzed. Emily, Thomas Brennan is here to see you. Thomas Brennan was the president of Stratton Financial. My boss's boss's boss. Send him in, I said confused. Thomas entered, closing the door. Emily, I need to discuss something sensitive. A loan application from Richard and Susan Porter. My parents' names. My stomach dropped. They came in Friday requesting a home equity line of credit. $50,000, stating it was for home improvements. And the application was flagged because you're listed as their daughter and an employee here. Protocol requires disclosure. He slid a file across my desk. I wanted you to see this before we proceed. I opened it. Home equity application for $50,000. Current mortgage balance. $240,000 on a house worth maybe $420,000. The stated purpose made my blood run cold. Family wedding expenses and home improvements. They were trying to borrow money for Derek's wedding after I'd refused. What's their debt-to-income ratio? I asked. Thomas grimaced. Not good. They're at 43% with existing debt. Adding this would push them to 58%. It's outside our lending parameters. So you're denying it? That's what I wanted to discuss. I pulled their full financial profile. He paused. This would be a mistake for them. They don't have the income to service this debt. Then deny it, I said. I need to know you're not involved in this decision due to personal conflict. I met his eyes. My family demanded I give them $27,500 for my brother's wedding. I refused. They decided to borrow instead. I have no personal stake. I actually don't want them approved because it's a bad financial decision. Thomas nodded. That's what I needed to hear. We'll deny based on DTI ratios. They'll be notified tomorrow. After he left, I sat staring at the file. My parents were willing to go into debt they couldn't afford to fund Derek's luxury wedding. And they'd blame me. The text started Tuesday afternoon. Dad, the bank denied our loan. This is your fault. You work there. Mom, Derek might have to cancel the venue. Are you happy now? Derek, thanks for nothing. Hope your money keeps you warm. I blocked all 3 numbers. Wednesday morning I received an email. You think you can control everyone with money. Watch your back. I forwarded it to IT security and police. Thursday my doorman called. Miss Porter? Your brother is here. He seems agitated. Tell him I'm not available. He says it's an emergency. Tell him to leave or I'll call the police. Derek left a voicemail. Emily, please. The venue deadline is tomorrow. Jennifer is devastated. Mom is crying. Just help us this once. I'll pay you back, I swear. I deleted it. Friday afternoon my assistant rushed in. Emily, a police officer needs to see you. Officer Chin met me in the lobby. Miss Porter, someone filed a report saying you denied your parents a loan out of revenge. That's false, I said. The bank president denied it because they didn't qualify. I figured, he said. Your brother Derek filed the report. It's a false claim. I'll warn him but document everything. This could escalate. He was right. Saturday morning I found my car keyed, 4 deep scratches. Building security caught Derek on camera at 3 a.m. I called Officer Chin. I want to press charges. False police report. Threatening email. Vandalism. And I want a restraining order. I'll start the paperwork, he said. Monday Thomas, my boss, called me in. Our legal counsel Margaret was with him. Emily, we have a problem, she said. Your brother hired a lawyer. He's threatening to sue you and the bank for discrimination. That's ridiculous. He's also posting on social media, she added. She showed me Derek's Facebook post. 300 plus shares, hundreds of comments. He claimed I lived in luxury and refused to help my struggling family. This is defamation, I said. We agree, Margaret said. But we must confirm. Did you influence the loan? No. It was denied before I even knew about it. Thomas nodded. She had nothing to do with it. Then we proceed legally, Margaret said. But we checked your family accounts. Emily, did you know your parents missed their last 2 mortgage payments? My heart dropped. No. And the house isn't in their names anymore. It was quitclaimed to you 3 years ago. That's impossible, I whispered. Thomas showed me the deed with my forged signature. This is fraud, Margaret said. Someone forged your name. Possibly your parents. Why would they do that? To stop a foreclosure 3 years ago, Thomas said. Putting the house in your name prevented the bank from taking it. Now they're behind again and legally you owe the mortgage. I felt sick. My parents forged my signature. Transferred their house to me. Made me responsible for their debt. And still expected me to pay for Derek's wedding. I want this investigated, I said. Fraud. Forgery. Identity theft. Everything. It will get ugly, Margaret warned. Good, I said. The investigation moved fast. The notary had no record of the deed. My parents couldn't show any proof that I agreed. A handwriting expert confirmed the signature was forged. My father was arrested on Thursday for fraud, forgery, and identity theft. My mother was arrested as an accomplice. Derek called from an unknown number. You had Mom and Dad arrested? He screamed. They committed fraud. They forged my signature. They were trying to save the house. By making me liable for their debt without my knowledge. That's fraud, Derek. This is all because of the wedding money. Your life is ruined because you expected everyone else to fund your fantasy. That's not my responsibility. The wedding is cancelled, he said, voice breaking. Jennifer left me. She can't marry into this mess. My life is ruined. Derek, they forged my signature. They made me liable for $240,000 in debt. You want me to be okay with that? Silence. I didn't ask to be the responsible one, I said quietly. I built my career through my own work. I refuse to be punished for that by people who think my success means I owe them something. You don't owe us anything? After everything Mom and Dad did. They committed a crime against me. Whatever they did before doesn't erase that. I hung up and blocked the number. 3 months later, my parents pleaded guilty to fraud and forgery. The judge sentenced them to 2 years probation, restitution, and community service. They had to forfeit the house. The quitclaim deed was nullified. The property returned to their names, and the bank initiated foreclosure due to missed payments. They lost the house they tried to fraudulently protect. Derek moved back with them to a rental apartment. Jennifer had called off the wedding and moved out of state. My extended family stopped speaking to me. I was the villain, the selfish daughter who'd destroyed the family. But I'd protected myself from $240,000 in fraudulent debt and held people accountable for identity theft. 6 months later, I received a letter from my mother forwarded through my attorney. Emily, I hope you're satisfied. Your father and I lost our home. Derek lost his fiancée. The family is fractured beyond repair. All because you couldn't help your brother. I hope your money keeps you warm because you'll never have family again. Mom. I read it once, then filed it with the other legal documents. She was right, I'd never have that family again. But I'd never again be exploited by people who thought love and obligation were the same thing. You owe us for raising you, Dad had shouted. He was wrong. I owed them nothing. And that truth had set me free.